Hey, Solo, welcome. Hope everything's going alright with you. Hope everything goes good tonight. Never know, we could have another party wipe and be spending the entire stream trying to beat Raphael. Hey Andy, welcome. Good evening to you as well. I will say, Andy, I wish I was over in the UK right now. I could really handle the weather over there. Yeah, the weather here is hot again. I wasn't expecting it to get back to these levels. I guess I probably should have. It's only the middle of September. But, yeah, I certainly could handle the weather over there right now. It is blistering hot right now. I was talking to my friend about the goings on over there. She mentioned that the weather's finally cooling off, and I was like, "Oh, I wish it was doing that here." Yeah, I will be trying my best to make a visit over there sometime soon. I'm going to be doing making a lot of changes in my personal life, so I don't think I'll be able to come up this year. But maybe after the first of the year, I might be able to head over there, visit my friend. I'm really anxious to see her and her family. I haven't seen them in a while. Yeah, it's always a good time when I come over there. I'm way past all the touristy stuff. I've been over there, you know, spent so much time over there. I'm way past all of that, and I just get to really hang out and do what I want. Depending on when I'm over there, sometimes I'll catch a football match. Just kind of depends on when I'm there and who my team is playing and that sort of stuff. But yeah, like I say, it's always good to get over there and visit my friends. I'm certainly gonna try and beat Raphael. Like I said a little bit ago, who knows? We may end up spending the entire stream just trying to beat Raphael. I looked back over it. I made a couple of crucial mistakes in preparation last time, and I made a crucial mistake there at the end. I still could have won that even after everything right there on the very last move with my paladin, but didn't. Made a crucial mistake there at the end, so we'll do our best. Oh, nice. I always like garden fresh food. I have a planter box out behind my house here that I have carrots, potatoes, and squash in. And yeah, I do love to have that first picking out of it. Yeah, I should have caught that. I have the fly ability. I shouldn't have been walking over there anyway. Well, no, Kurz doesn't have fly, but I could have jumped. I could have used his bonus action to jump out of the Hellfire. And was just too focused on trying to avoid an opportunity attack from the Cambion there, and I shouldn't have. I should have. Or I could have just used my bonus action to heal up first. I have plenty of supreme healing potions, and yeah, I was just focused on the wrong things. I'm going to take it a little slower this time, so hopefully everything will work out all right. Oh, wow. Grapes are hard to grow. So that's great that you've got that you'll hopefully get a crop out of it. Yeah, here where I'm at, it's not tenable. The soil isn't able to retain enough moisture for them to grow. It's just way too hot. Hey, David. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Knowing me, I'm sure I'm going to make some mistakes. Hopefully they won't be the catastrophic kind, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. Welcome, everyone, to episode 59 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Bard gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, on an admin note, my dinner order was horrifically delayed, and it looks like it's still delayed, and it might show up 10 or 15 minutes into the stream here. So there probably will be a little pause while I pick it up at the front door. Still won't get to eat it, which is a shame, but yeah, there will be a little interruption for that. So pardon the interruption. I think that's it for the admin notes. So on our recap, last week was disappointing. We had our first encounter with Raphael, and it didn't go very well for us. I made some mistakes in preparation, and still, even with those mistakes, I had a chance at the end to finish the fight, and I made another mistake right at the very end. And today, we're going to jump back in after the party wipe, back to where our save point was, which is right before that fight. And hopefully this time the outcome will be better. We are going to make a couple of changes to our setup here when we get in, so let's jump in and see if we can get a better outcome this time. Okay, here we go. So, a couple of things that we're going to change.
Does this count as adventuring? That will fit in my pack.
We're going to probably end up leaving one smoke pillar.
Should mind my step.
There's a reason for that, which if it pops up, I'll explain it at that time. But that allows me to move, and I'm gonna put these back behind it. That one there. And again, we're just gonna move these back here behind all of these, because again, I'm trying to do something else here. I'm not going to sacrifice the run because of it, but if I can do it, I will. So we'll come over here and resituate these three as well. And then this last one, I'm just going to set right here. Okay. And then we'll go put our paladin back over here. So, a few things that we need to work out as far as our prep goes here. So we're going to change him out to the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength, and that's because I want to not utilize an elixir to buff his strength. Okay, as far as my strength goes, again, not too worried about it, but I do definitely want to swap out from the Orphic Hammer, which I did not do last time. So now let's look at our elixirs. This is something that I did not do last time, and I honestly haven't looked at them to see where we're at. While we're at it, let's get Gale. He's got an 18 arcane ward, so let's get him back up to 18 here. Okay, so we'll continue this on up. Okay. And for him, since the Ice Bite robe doesn't give him anything, because Armor of Agathis, I can't cast it right now because I already used it. I'm going to swap out to the Robe of the Weave. Okay, now let's look at how many elixirs of fire resistance we have. So we have a bunch. So let's go ahead and take a few of these. How we want this to work is, again, Kurz no longer needs the Hill Giant Strength because he's got it from the Gauntlets. So we're going to give him fire, we're going to give Shadowheart fire resistance, we're going to give Gale fire resistance, all utilizing elixirs. And that's going to help combat that Raging Inferno spell that is going to get cast on us. As we're also going to give one to Hope as well. So let's go ahead and...
Looking ahead.
Start taking these. So Kurz... We'll drink one.
What's next, I wonder?
Shadowheart. We'll drink one. Gale. We'll get one. And then, as far as Hope goes...
Never a dull moment.
We're going to find it in our pouch. They're right here. Now that Hope's selected, we can have Hope drink one as well. Now, as far as my Bard goes, right now I'm utilizing the Elixir of Cloud Giant Strength. I'm not really, set on that, because my damage probably isn't going to be a whole lot of a deciding factor in this. So I could change it out, but I do like the extra 2 hit is what I like. The ability to hit Raphael, especially in the early going, is a lot harder because of his high armor class. So I would like to keep that. So to give my bard fire resistance, I want to look at something else. Provide resistance to fire or cold damage. So I can cast the Scroll of Fire Shield. It's going to last for 10 turns, but I can start that. I can start the combat off while it's still going. And the retaliation against melee attacks isn't going to be a big deal, but this is going to be able to give me fire resistance without removing my elixir. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that I need to swap out. I don't think that there is. Okay, so last thing, I need to look at my character sheet and see who all has alert. I do. Shadowheart does. Okay. Kurz does not. And he's the only one here that cannot fly. So I'm thinking how I want to deal with him. I think I'm just going to drop him in. Yeah, I'll worry about that part later. Whoops.
Can't give up now.
Hey, Gale's in hiding.
No honor among sneaks.
All right. So I think we are a little better prepared for this. But again, as always, we'll kind of see how it goes. So wish us luck. Hey, Em, welcome to the stream. Okay, so for myself, okay, so chill shield, I take only half damage of all fire damage.
Slows for a moment, and the air becomes thicker.
It is,
The
yes.
master of the house is coming.
You.
Oh, I forgot about trying to convince Yurgir.
There are many things in your world that I loathe. Litters of kittens, chattering children, the noise and the chaos of it all. In my world, in my house, there is order and there is decorum. You came here uninvited and you stole from me. In doing so, you brought the chaos of your world into mine. I will not abide it.
I didn't need to. It was very entertaining watching you dig your own grave. I permitted you the freedom to decide your own fate. You could have been smart, selfless, saved the world. Instead, you came here and risked everything.
It's the fatal flaw of mortal kind. Take away their free will and they call you a tyrant. Allow them to indulge it and they become tyrants. You would have been heroes if you'd only dealt fairly with me. Instead, you're not so different to doomed Carsus, overreaching your limits and burning your world to ash.
Wrong! 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 They will save their world and smash you to smithereens.
It's this charming naivety that makes your company such a joy to me, Hope. I'll even forgive this little rebellion once you're suitably chastised.
This isn't a rebellion. It's a revolt. I'm revolting!
Then Hope dies today. Commander, you can salvage a trophy from these insects when I'm done with them.
These insects struck me down beneath the Shadowlands. They are worthy opponents. Their skulls will make fine trophies.
Okay, we didn't really prep for this, but let's see what we can do. That's not a good roll. We got full inspiration, so we'll roll one more time. There we go.
To stand against a devil in his own home. That takes courage. I'm with you.
How tiresome. Am I to understand that you wish to die with them?
I wish to fight with them.
It's all the same in the end. If you have any last words, make it quick. It will only take a moment to finish you. Hope. It always burns you in the end, little mouse. Now, down comes the claw.
Alright, so rolled first, which is nice. So for our first turn, we need to make sure of a couple of things. The first of which being that I am trying to save Corilla. I say I'm trying to, because if this ends up, I'm going to knock her out. But if she gets caught in the blast here and gets killed, it is what it is. I can complete this without saving her, but I would like to try and save her. So I'm going to turn on non-lethal attacks. I'm going to fly over here next to her.
Squirm. For now, down here come the claws.
Okay, so she's knocked out, so we'll turn that passive off. And we're now going to, again, fly back here into this general area. And I certainly could, but again, this is where I'm at the point where I'm not really 100% interested in saving her. If she's in the blast radius here, it is what it is. I'm not gonna fight against it. I'm not gonna let her take a turn to be able to possibly cast a spell. So I prefer just to get her knocked out, leave her there, and hopefully we can deal with it later. So, but if we can't, again, we can't. So, a couple of things here. I still have my bonus action, and I need to cast something that's going to help protect me a little bit. Now, last time it was darkness, and it's probably still going to be darkness here again. And what that's going to do is cause the Cambions to focus on the ghouls that are out there, which is perfectly fine for me. For them to soak up damage is kind of what they're here for. If we can get a paralyze off, that's obviously great. But if we can't, we can't. So my goal here still is to try and throw out a darkness, but to do that I need to either take a potion of haste or have somebody cast haste on me. And either if I have somebody cast haste, that's going to be Gale, and he's now going to be in combat. He's going to roll pretty low in that combat. But I have another thing kind of in mind because of it. So I'm going to get Gale here to cast haste. Okay, Gale joined the fight. He obviously is late in the initiative order, but I'm actually not too worried about that. And that's because I can protect him using party members that have not taken a turn yet. And what I'm going to do with that is move Kurz around here.
I'm ready.
Then move Shadowheart around. And I'm going to have Kurz go after this this Cambion here. I'm going to try and focus the next turn on taking out the Soul Pillars. I'm not going to do it this turn. I don't think. Guess I might be able to take out that one. I don't know if he could throw it that far though, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to have hers throw down a damage here. Well, boy, it would be nice if I was able to get it over there. I just don't think I can from here. Because this Soul Pillar's free, basically. Yeah, see, he'd have to move all the way out there. And his throw... won't get there either. Well, it would get it there. He would pop out of hiding. But he's still going to get the throw off. And that will cause some damage to the Cambions. Not a whole lot, but still a good start.
I have to survive this.
And now Shadowheart is going to cast Darkness up here. Okay. Now, casting Darkness like that, it enters her into combat, but it does not lose her action, which is important. She still has her action, and she rolled high in initiative, which is good for us. So now me, I still have my last attack here from my Deepened Pact. And he got soul overcharged. So I'm looking at my bonus actions. Yeah, I don't care about the concentration on friends. And then with my last action, I'm going to cast Darkness here.
Can't afford to let up.
Okay, now Shadowheart's action. Let's see if we can start getting damage on Raphael here. Because I would like to be able to throw out so he does not have his radiant damage buff yet. So I might be able to just throw out some radiant damage against him right now to start. Or I could throw out... No, she's concentrating, so don't want to lose that concentration. Yeah, don't want to lose concentration here. I can throw out a Guardian of Faith. So let's move out here. Okay, so another thing that I was messing up last time was I'm not entirely used to this screen yet since they changed it. So I was clicking do not react. I need to click confirm here. Okay, good. All of the ghouls dying is causing all of that necrotic damage. And it's actually good that Yurgir's surrounded because he tends to use a thunder wave attack, and I don't want to be anywhere near that thing when it goes off. So I would really like to do something else here, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to get out damage against Raphael as much as I can here. And I can do that without moving. Yes, I can. That's just damage that can't miss. And then, yeah, I think I'm good for the rest of it for now. Okay, you just... There it is. Okay, so Hope now. Good that we have access to her. That's an interesting question. Does Healing Word work by tagging it? It does not. When you're invisible, it does not work. So Hope needs to step out of here. Trying to think of how I want to play this. I think I'm just going to banish one of the Cambions. So okay, I can get him. And then I'll move her back in here. I don't think Mass Healing Word is going to get Yurgir, but maybe it will. It did. Okay, so that was good. It healed him up some.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
Okay, so my Paladin now. Let's try and get rid of this Soul Pillar here. Oh, right. I'd prefer to save that. Let's get Hex going. I'm gonna save my action surge. Okay, so now let's look at these other two soul pillars here. I don't think I can throw from inside.
Doomed,
Darkness.
detected, and all.
Right? Oh, I can. Okay. Where is Yurgir at? Okay, he moved over there. Good. Okay. So now let's see if we can finish off a couple of these cambions. Raphael's going to transform. On his next turn here. So I'm thinking about how I want to play this last action with Shadowheart, because I have something I want to try. Okay. Phantasmal Killer means he cannot move. Okay. He's got disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls during this time. That dropped my darkness here. Again, I don't think I'm going to be as worried about that for the remainder of this. Raphael is the problem. Okay. So we're going to now start focusing Raphael. I am going to move in front of Hope here. With my Bard, and with my bonus action, I'll throw out a healing word. Oh, that was not a mass healing word. Duh. And now, Shadowheart is going to drop her concentration on darkness as well. And did I not prep it? Oh, jeez. Okay. I messed up a preparation. Maybe I can save it. I can't. I messed up my preparation again. I didn't prepare silence. That's a mistake. That is a mistake. Yeah, right, Andy. Mistakes will be made. Okay, I think my best bet here is just to separate her out so that she's not in the blast wave of the incoming spell here. And again, the darkness I don't think is that big a deal anymore, but I will leave it up one more time. And for this, I'm going to cast Sanctuary on Hope.
Another fight.
Before I do that, let me see if I can separate even more here.
One day.
Let's move, let's face tank Raphael with that movement.
Doomed, detected, and paused.
Here's his ascension. Okay, so we cast it just on Shadowheart. Now I'm not going to be able to counterspell this. Okay, is Raphael stunned? He is. I want to try something. I'm not sure this is going to work. Close enough. That does not work. Okay, I needed to try it though, to see if it was going to work. Don't do it at me, you idiot. because that killed Gorilla too. Okay. He's got 2 soul charges left here. I can't. Okay. I can't cause radiant damage, but I can cause other damage to him. So he's got Punish Divinity now, which is, again, a defense against radiant damage only. Thinking carefully here. He's stunned, so I've got advantage on the attack rolls here against him. Okay. I think I am just gonna go see if we can get rid of another one of these cambions. Remove them from the fight here. Here again, separate everybody. Okay. Now hope. Definitely need to get healing onto Shadowheart this turn, but I can't walk in there, of course. So it would be a mass healing word. I can upcast it. And I can do that with my bonus action. So I can banish this one with my action. And I don't necessarily need to mass healing word this. Okay. So she took 23. She's still alive for now. Blue silence. He's a phantasmal killer. It landed. This would have been perfect. The goal with phantasmal killers, he can't move. Once he can't move, you drop a silence on top of him and he can't cast any spells. He can absorb soul charges, but he can't cast any spells. I just didn't prep. I forgot the prep and didn't prepare silence on Shadowheart. That was a big mistake. Hold on, give me just a second. I need to pick something up real quick. Okay, no I don't. I guess my food order has gone into the ether somewhere, so I will deal with that after the stream. So, let's try and get some damage onto him. I think is probably the best way to go about this, because I'm not going to be able to stop him from casting Ravaging Inferno again. Ooh. Maybe I can. Actually. No, I can't. Can't. That's gonna be way too risky for me to do. So let's see if we can get off something else that's going to make him skip his turn. Because what I would love to do here is to get him paralyzed, and then it's going to go away, but that skips his turn while he's in his ascended form here. So it's probably a really low chance of this. Actually not. It's a 72% chance of landing. Okay, well we'll take that. Well, while we've got him paralyzed, all of these are going to be crits. So if I'm going to do that, I might as well drop Phantasmal Killer. Does Phantasmal Killer have any other debuffs that I like? Has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. It does take psychic damage every turn. So I guess I'll leave that up. And I'll just get crits with all of these. So Shadowheart is definitely going to take Supreme Healing. And she's going to fly out of there. And again, try and keep spaced out. Bit here. He's wet, so it's going to do double damage. I don't need to use that charge. Okay, so now I've got Call Lightning out. So what I'm going to be doing with this is something, I'm going to try something that's going to be a little interesting. So that Cambion's going to get an attack here. Then Raphael's paralyzed. He's going to skip his turn. Hopefully Yurgir doesn't do anything stupid. Oh, that's easy. Charm him so he can't get a second attack. Oh, Yurgir's going to do something stupid. Oh, okay. Well, that was interesting. So I need to kill him.
Doomed, detected, and flawed.
Okay, good. So now Yurgir's not doing something stupid to me. Like another one of those repulsing arrow shots. So we are 2 turns of encrusted with frost.
Forthwith.
Okay, and now Gale. I don't think he needs to do anything with that additional turn. I am going to move him out of the way. Just kind of get him out of the line of sight. Because I want to keep that haste active. Okay, so we do have Punish Divinity still active, but I can remove that. Yep. So let's get damage on Raphael. Okay, so let's just throw down as much as we can. We're going to take some retribution here, because as soon as we start doing radiant damage, he's going to use his Punish Divinity. Okay, so once he does that, that's going to stun me here, and I'm going to be soul wrenched, and he can use Soul Drain, which means he can do a lot of necrotic damage to me. There is a save behind that, but I'm thinking that what I can probably do is just get regular damage against him now. And then this is his last turn of Ascended Fiend, and that's going to go away, and I will then kind of see how I can react to that on the next turn. So let's just get regular attacks without Divine Smite against him right now. And again, just causing damage against him at this point. Okay. I'm not going to throw any Divine Smites because I don't want any Radiant damage. Okay, I'm going to save my Action Surge. Now what I will do with Hope, though, is throw an attack at him. And here, I can use her Divine Intervention. Making sure I can use it. Yes, Punish Divinity is going to stun her, but I can cast Sanctuary on her on the next turn. So with her, I can use her Divine Intervention here and see if we can get some decent damage against him. Okay. So that removed his Punish Divinity, and she actually looked like saved. So now I should have actually done that beforehand, because then I could have gone after him with radiant damage with Curse. Oh, and she lost her concentration on it. That's okay, though. Okay, he still has disadvantage on his attacks, and this is his last turn of Ascended Fiend. So...
Doomed, detected, and paused.
let's try and paralyze him again. Okay, 75% chance to hit. Okay, did I already use my... I might have already used it. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna do this. I might as well throw in additional damage. Had to miss with that one. All right. Slowly whittling him down. We're going to stay right where we are.
Talk to me.
I'm going to see, can I throw this again and get just him? I can. He's still wet. This is probably going to electrify the ground, cause damage to me. Okay, and I want to cast Sanctuary on myself. Or on Shadowheart. See what Raphael does, and see who he targets, basically, with this attack. Okay, so he just dropped out of Ascended Fiend. That's awesome. He's laying on the ground, and I'm gonna beat the living crap out of him. Yep, he's done. He's so done. Okay. Yurgir, please don't do anything stupid. Okay? That's all I'm asking you. Don't do anything stupid. Look at all that stacked up damage. Yurgir, don't do anything stupid. That's perfect. Perfect. And now, Kurz, let's end this dude. Let's just end this dude. So he's prone, so I'm going to have advantage on all these attacks, so I don't need Divine Sense, but what I can throw in is Inquisitor's Might. With my bonus action. And now let's just go ham. Oh, you're absolutely kidding me. You are absolutely kidding me. I roll a 3. Boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes the dynamite. Action surge.
It's absolutely preposterous that any of us are alive. Maybe we're not. Pinch yourself and check we're not dreaming the last of our lives as we die screaming.
You are wide awake, and Raphael truly is defeated.
Then we're not just fine, we're spectacular. What a wonderful, jubilant, glorious day. But my poor sister, Corilla. It is not right that she died. And that makes me want to weep an ocean.
And that was Yurgir's fault. Yurgir hit her with that concussive blast thing and killed her with it. That's just one of the things with Yurgir is what he does is it's randomized. He tends to throw out that concussive blast twice really early on. I just, like I say, didn't... it's hard to save Corilla one way or another because of the combat going on around her. But I didn't want to leave Yurgir on his side.
She was an entire person before she ever made that choice. When we were children, she always kept the last piece of pastry for me and bloodied the nose of the bullies who pulled my hair. She was my sister. But as a wise woman once said, there's no point in crying over spilt blood. We must go on. And despite all the years I've lost, I have enough love in my heart to guide you home.
For the first time since you heard her voice, hope seems calm, and the peace flows from her into you, soothing your very soul.
And go where? I don't think I quite know how to be anywhere else but here anymore. With a lick of paint and a thorough cleaning, this could be a lovely little house. And I can hardly leave. After all, who would ever want to think of hell without hope? I hope I'll see Corilla again one day, and that she'll say sorry, and I'll tell her she's forgiven. I hope I find all the pieces of my mind that fell out of my head over all those years, and that I'll be able to put myself back together again. I hope the echoes of pain will fade, and memories of sorrow will die, and that you'll visit me here someday. And I hope you have a happy ending of your own.
Okay, and Hope is going to give us the Gloves of Soul Catching, which we'll look at here in a second. And, yes, M's absolutely correct. The pillars are vulnerable to force damage and bludgeoning damage. So it makes them fairly straightforward to break with a throwing action as long as you're using a bludgeoning weapon to do it. So I'm going to send all of these back to camp for later use. So one of the key things is that Raphael absorbs soul charges from the pillars that are intact. The Ascended Raphael absorbs soul charges from the pillars that are broken. So if you have that 2 and 2, what that means that he's never going to get 4 soul charges on any one turn. Whether he's in his Raphael form, he's only going to get 2, or he's in his Ascended form, he's only going to get 2. And that means that he is limited on his spell casting while he's in either one of those forms. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I left at least one. I also removed those barrels so we didn't have a repeat of what happened to us last time with the great AI on part of the game. But also I wanted to stake them out here so if I was getting low on damage and I had enemies around here, I had the opportunity to blow up a pillar and use the smoke powder barrels as damage for it. Thankfully we didn't need it here and things worked out pretty well. The key for this, and again, I messed my preparation up. I just didn't do it. Silence in combination with a high DC cast of Phantasmal Killer completely cheeses this fight. In that, inside that silence, Raphael cannot cast any of his spells in any form that he's in, and Phantasmal Killer locks him in place. He cannot move when you cast it, and as long as you're able to maintain the concentration, then he can't do anything. I messed up again, just plain and simple, and did not prep Silence for this fight. I didn't have any scrolls of it. I do have the Sussur Greatsword, however, there's a saving throw with this. It doesn't tell you that, but there is. There's a saving throw that goes along with it, and I didn't want to move into the Hellfire to try and hit him with it, and then have him save. It turned out to be a much better option to cast Paralyzing Ray to be able to make him miss one of his turns. So, but anything that you can do to make him skip a turn is beneficial. He's going to pop out of the end of that effect at the end of his turn because he has a legendary resistance that allows him to do that. But it makes him skip a turn, and anytime you can make him skip that 100 or 200 possible damage or 120 possible damage Raging Inferno, the better off you are. So let's go over and see if Yurgir has anything to say.
What's on my mind?
You fought well. We could use such strength in the Blood War. Now I'm free of Raphael's blasted contract. I can return to the front lines.
Now, we can kill Yurgir here.
Hunting shadows in a temple for 100 years was a break. I'll have slain a score of demons before you have your next hot meal. Whoever your enemies are, they have good reason to fear you. and I'll gladly lend you my skills against them when the time comes. Until then, good luck to you, little rabbit. You're a finer hunter than any wolf.
But if you let him live, Yurgir is now going to be able to join you in the final fight. Okay, so one more person to bring our allies in. So free Orpheus, again, we already have the hammer. We defeated Raphael, so now we just need to wait until our time to get in there, and we obviously did complete the deal by killing him. We saved Hope. I really wish I would have been able to save Carilla, but like I say, is what it is. So, as always, a little bit of searching here. Nothing in particular here, but need to go search Raphael. Because the Helldusk armor is here waiting for you. So we've looked at this before. So we have a couple of options on how we want to utilize this. And we'll look at the two legendary items that we picked up, and that's a bug that I've noticed since patch 7. When I move something off the screen, like when it scrolls, so we'll try it, see if we can duplicate it. Yeah, see, it doesn't show up, but when you go back, it's gone out of your inventory, and now when you scroll back, it's here. So there's something with the rendering of your inventories. Makes it a little bit annoying to kind of deal with. So the Gloves of Soul Catching are your end-all be-all for your monk class. Your unarmed attacks deal an additional 1d10 force damage, which is a massive damage writer. You just don't get that in other places. However, once per turn on an unarmed hit, you can regain 10 hit points. Alternatively, you can forgo that healing to gain advantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the end of your next turn. And it's Constitution +2, up to 20. So these are, like I say, the end-all be-all for the gloves. I don't have a use for them. And now we have the Helldusk armor. So we've learned about this before. You're proficient while you're wearing it, so anybody can wear it and not have any downsides. When you succeed a saving throw, whoever casts that spell at you is going to get burning for 3 turns, and you have resistance to fire damage and cannot be burned, and you take 3 less damage from all sources, which is really nice. Gives you the ability to fly if you don't have it, which is kind of nice, but the Armor of Persistence here is gaining him some really good bonuses, and he's already got a 24 armor class, so I'm thinking about doing something that might be a little bit non-traditional with this. Again, he's proficient with it, so it doesn't affect any of his spell casting at all. It ups his armor class to 22, which is quite a bit of a change. That's a 20% reduction in the amount of hits that he's going to take. I'm going to lose a couple of bonuses on saving throws, and I'm going to lose a +1 spell save DC, but I think that's where I want to go. I like the Luminous Armor option here with the Radiant Shockwave. I may end up swapping that out so that she gets the Helldusk armor and I go back to the robes with Gale. But I'll kind of look at it and see, and kind of see how it goes. But I do like the ability for him to avoid more attacks, which means that he is then also going to be able to keep his concentration or on anything that he chooses to keep up. So, but we'll kind of play with it and see how it goes. I'm not married to anything
Shouldn't have wished to live in
with
interesting
that
times.
set of armor.
Very well.
Okay, so now I am able to travel out of the portal.
Let's see what this does.
You can search the Cambions and pick up all their weapons and all that sort of stuff. We don't need any of that money, so I'm not worried about it.
Limb and freedom, all to steal the Orphic hammer. I hope your ambitions end there. I have already told you that the Githyanki Prince only wants to see you dead. But it seems you still do not trust me. That is not my definition of trust. You are falling into the same trap as the Chosen. Their distrust of one another is their undoing. We must not make the same mistake. We must work together. I'm disappointed to hear that. Nonetheless, our fates are bound. And in the absence of a happier union, I will accept a useful one. You may think yourself ingenious for having slain a devil, but you have merely ironed out a wrinkle. The Elder Brain will not be such an easy foe. It is time we resume our journey to find it.
Okay, so now we're back here in the Devil's Fee. And yeah, Solo, what's interesting is that all of the Cambions have that infernal retribution type thing, where if you cause radiant damage to them, Raphael will reflect all of that radiant damage back as fire damage, doubled. So if you use Hope's Divine Intervention for the damage bonus, and you do it while the Cambions are still up, then it can deal up to 80 damage. And that means that she's going to take 160 damage in return from Raphael, and that's going to happen for every Cambion she hits with that attack. So it can kill Hope really, really easily if you do it. So it depends on the spell, Andy. If it's a concentration spell, then yes, just like anything else, you have to keep concentration on it. Yeah, there is no removal of the requirements on a spell. If you go look at Gale in his spell book, the scroll of Cloud of Daggers, you can see it still says concentration on it. So you still have to maintain that concentration, whether you cast it from your spell pool, whether you get a free cast of it from Arcane Battery, or whether you cast it from a scroll. You still have to maintain the concentration for it. So now here we're going to make sure that we have the Ring of Geniality on. And there again, the rendering bug. Because we're going to have to make a check down here if we want to keep the gauntlets. So let's go talk to Helsik.
Trips to the Hells are usually one way, especially when the traveler causes the kind of trouble you did. I knew you were a thief, didn't realize you were a killer. Raphael's death is already causing quite a stir across the Hells. It's a rare thing for a mortal to slay a devil of his stature. In all the excitement, I hope you didn't forget our bargain. Do you have the gauntlets? invalidates our deal, I'm afraid. I fulfilled my part of the bargain, so you owe me the fee I proposed initially.
That's going to be a big number. Rolled low on Mark of the Shifter, or else I might have gotten another 40 out of it.
Not a subtle point, but well made. Keep the gauntlets. Your threats aren't necessary, but your coin is still welcome, Devil Slayer.
Okay, and that's going to complete the quest for acquiring the gauntlets. We basically got to keep them, is how that works. So now we're getting down to the end of things here. We do have something that we want to go look at first here. We have Mole's contract, and I've actually never returned this. Let's just go back to the Basilisk's Gate.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Can't remember if this door's open or not, but we'll see when we get in here. Looks like it's not. Can't remember the DC on this, but we'll put our...
Don't give me trouble now.
Ooh. Could be another big number. Oh, and I rolled low on both of them. I actually don't know. Okay, yeah, we're fine.
See anything you like? Let's talk price. See anything of yours?
So Mole is over here. Let's go see if we can give his her contract back.
I need a quick word.
Ready to do some business? Give me that! Can't have this floating around loose. I thought I was meant to be the thief. So what if it is? Choosing the right allies is just common sense. You wouldn't have made it this far on your own. Big Raph doesn't own me. He's just giving me the tools to keep myself alive and to take what I want. As for what that is, well, you didn't think I planned to stop at running the Fetcher's brats, did you? I knew you'd understand. Everyone's owned by somebody. Might as well sign up to be on the winning team. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Baldur's Gate is home now, and the brats are my family. Nobody messes with my family.
Okay, and now we get another ally in the long list of people that we have been able to recruit on this particular playthrough. So Mole is going to have our back during this fight, so anxious to see what that's going to be like when we go through it. So now we're going to head back up to the Basilisk Gate is fine again. And probably time we take our long rest.
No, never mind. Seek and you shall find me.
Okay. Yeah, probably time that we take our long rest. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Let me make sure I don't want anything else. I don't think I do. Because Rapture is going to go away. So why am oh yeah, all of the garb disappeared. Gotta put all your clothes back on because the debtor's outfit got removed. Okay, let's go around quickly, see if anybody has some things to say.
Just thought of something.
Ah, damn it! To end a devil in the hells is to end him for true! Who was hoping to make a hobby of killing Raphael over and over again?
That's the last of Raphael. I'll be glad to no longer have to suffer his smug face.
To slay a devil in his domain is to end him entire. Or it should be. I am still primed to hear some slimy final rhyme from beyond the grave.
Raphael's good and gone. Feels damn good too. Now, if only I could get rid of the other devil in my life.
Raphael is no more. I shall not shed any tears.
No, that's a good question, Solo. The reason that I stayed shapeshifted for that is because when I'm shapeshifted and I've had the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring, I gain an additional 1d4 bonus to all checks. When I was trying to convince Yurgir, I wanted to have that additional 1d4 bonus to the persuasion check since it's a DC 30. So having the shapeshift up gives me that bonus as long as the shapeshift is active. So that's why I went and got Rapture to give me a 1d6. I had a 1d4 from the Shapeshifter's Boon, and I could throw on a 1d4 from Guidance, and all three of those would stack on top of each other. So it's a way to get a really good extra bonus if you're dealing with difficult ability checks.
Hey, soldier.
No amount of contracts will save Raphael from the fate we forced upon him. A devil well slain, if I say so myself.
Defeating a devil in his own home feels very, very good, actually.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take our long rest here.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, and we're going to bring Shadowheart over here in a second. Let's bring Zenith in.
This vessel is at thy disposal.
But the vessel only stares blank.
This soul awaits thy
Can't give up now. Never wanted the
Okay,
easy
we'll bring Shadowheart back
Waste. Got to keep moving.
over here.
I've got a long road ahead.
My Fortio!
All right. What now? Just what I need.
Bring Gale back in.
What's on your mind? I'd be delighted, though, back in the thick of...
Alright, so... I don't need the Legacy of the Masters anymore. That was only for Raphael, because of his high armor class. Okay. Yorvik Hammer I need to have on me, but I don't need to be the one carrying it. So, looks like it's really the arrows and the potions that are doing that. Okay. Alright, so now looking at our journal, the real last thing that we need to deal with is Orin here. Now, Orin comes in two parts, and we did them one particular way. During the Paladin playthrough. We're going to do it a different way this time. We're going to focus Sarevok first instead of coming back to him. So we're just going to leave camp here.
Don't waste a step.
And we're going to head into Candle Hollow's tombstones. Yeah, Candle Hollow's tombstones. We're going to head in here. I'm going to buff and get all the buffs out of the way before I go in there. This is Candle Hollow's here. And there's our quest marker.
It was half that a 10 day ago.
We've had supply issues.
Okay, so while we're out here, let's go ahead and get our buffs done.
Even better when she gets to shut.
So we'll get Gale's arcane wards up. Just going to cast Armor of Agathis just to get the last 3. But now Armor of Agathis is going to go away when I swap out for the Helldusk Armor. But he keeps his arcane charges. So now we will deal with the Drakethroat Glaive. And we do have the spear in our back.
Let's get on with
So
it.
we'll have Shadowheart cast a cold version here.
Plenty of folk like that
And
Gauntlets
we will
book.
bring up the rest of them.
By all the obituaries.
And now everybody who has Shield of Thralls will go ahead and cast this now.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes. 10 day ago.
What happened there? Oh, did it not trigger because she already has temporary hit points?
Ripe with magic.
No, binding weapons changed in patch 6. So now your weapons stay bound to you through a long rest.
What to do?
So if we look at it, you can see it says packed weapon down there. As long as it doesn't leave your inventory, it will stay bound to you. Now,
Still breathing,
me,
despite
I
everything.
may have rebound the Orphic Hammer, but it doesn't look like I did. So it looks like it still says packed weapon on it. We can bind it just to be sure. But yeah, it was still previously our packed weapon. But yeah, they fixed that, or they changed that in patch 6. So now you can
Twice what you just
keep
said.
using it throughout your long rest and not have to make that change anymore, which is a welcome change.
Wonder what's past this.
This guard caught you
Oh,
picking
come
a lock.
on.
Perhaps you'd like to try the lock of your very own cell. Your bribery attempt has caused some offense. Violence it is.
I swear, sometimes this game, the door is outlined in white, but it's red in here. And I just happened to do it at the exact time when these three were patrolling a back alley that no one ever walks down.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
I'm ready. Fall, damn you. On my way.
Battle of wits. Still on my feet.
Hit one and miss the other. That will keep them from attacking again. Or attacking me again. I don't know why they're able to throw here anyway.
Take you.
Great, thank you for the one. Appreciate it.
Need to stay focused. No mercy. Got to press on.
I don't fancy their chances.
70-point crit. I'll take that.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Okay, not too worried about that.
Can't keep me out. It was half that 10 days ago. Best be on my way.
Alright. Didn't want to waste the spell slot, but I could get it back pretty easily if I wanted. So, inside Candle Hallows, in this room here, there's a fairly high perception check to make. I don't care if I make it or not. You can see the perception check is a DC 25. The scroll here will kind of give you a hint. If you seek the Tribunal, let death be your guide, for what is behind death but murder. This is the Murder Tribunal. So, behind death is how you get to murder. And here on the wall is a picture that's got a skull on it, representing death. So if you go pick that up, there's a button behind it. And that button is what gives you access to the cellar door here.
The locked door has red text on it reading, "All are awaited, all are embraced. None shall escape."
Okay, we know the password. Orin gave it to us. And that brings us inside the crypt.
Flaming
So parchment
fist
says
this
flaming
way.
fist this way. Now, if you go flying out here, okay, there's a perception check to be made. Because this whole area is trapped. Okay, there's a tripwire that runs along here. However, fly helps you avoid tripwires.
Here goes nothing.
Present me well from gifts thine own, or I shall rend thy flesh from bone. A grasping hand, an offering vile. Enter now the Dread Lord's trial.
Okay, and that's because of two things. We have a bag of hands that we picked up from Dolor when we killed him. We have also killed Gortash here. We are not carrying Gortash's hand. So what I'm going to do here shapeshift again. And their solo is the Mark of the Shifter buff. That plus 1d4 bonus to all checks. And I want to have that active as we go in here. And speak to the Murder Tribunal.
You gaze upon murder's progeny, child.
His most ill-trusted zealots.
His faithful departed.
Prodigal servants. Each returns to do his bidding eternally.
This man is known to all Baldurians, and his presence sparks dread in the pit of your stomach. Before you is Sarevok Anchev, a Bhaalist who almost brought Baldur's Gate to ruin a century ago. Devala was right. Not just an imitator, but Sarevok himself.
This is the court of the Dread Lord's Tribunal. I am its custodian. Here come those who seek to transcend, aspirants of his most profane order, the would-be unholy assassins of Bhaal.
Now, for those of you not familiar with Baldur's Gate 2, which some of you might not have even been born when that game came out, for those of us who are old, like myself, and we've played both of the previous games here, Sarevok is the main antagonist in Baldur's Gate 2. This plot to take over the city is what you were fighting against with your party in that game. Seeing him here is an amazing throwback to those previous games and kind of ties all of us old people back into those old games, which again were not developed by Larian. They were done by BioWare. So it's an amazing thing for the devs to have added this set of characters in here, but it makes perfect sense because the Dead 3, Bhaal of which is one of them, he was the main representative of Bhaal. He was their chosen at that time, and it's good to see it tied in here again.
A long while ago, my wretched sibling brought me back. The fairest of Bhaal spawn soul-bound me to this husk. Worship death though I do, I refused it. I roamed the coast, gathering those who still held Bhaal in their black hearts. The cult survived, festering beneath the city, with me as the gate's everlasting poison. But no more, for poison is too slow a death. Now is the time for slaughter. With these killings, the glory of the Bhaalists has risen beyond what we dreamed possible during those dark days. But the worship of my lord is led by another now, my granddaughter Orin. The youngest unholy assassin ever to follow in Bhaal's bloody trail. And his chosen. She is the architect of Bhaal's design. Bhaal has never had a more gifted prodigy. Orin's gifts surpassed even her mother's. Her mother knew this, and she could not bear it. When Orin was but 7 years old, she tried to smother the child as an offering to our Lord. I heard the screams. I ran to help. I feared for the child's life. But the cries were not Orin's. It was her mother's blood that soaked the sheets. Orin had cut off the very hand that tried to end her, and made a plaything of it. And as she toyed with her dead mother's hand, a deep quiver rose up through her throat. the Lord of Murder speaking through the child. Lay not a finger on this child, he said, nor let any other, for this child will serve me with unholy ardor. Protect her in my name. I knew of my daughter's ambitions, but not the lengths to which she'd go. She hungered for Bhaal's favor more than anyone I'd ever known. But her daughter, Orin, hungered even more. My lord made his choice. I abided by his words. But Orin is not the subject of our judgment here today. You wish to become an unholy assassin of Bhaal. So, approach and be judged. Let us begin. Spirit of the slaughtered, return to us. Show us the truth of this murderer's intent, and let us judge her for her bloody service.
His will be done.
You took this spirit's life, and thus its voice. So, speak for it. How was this pitiable creature slain?
So I was actually hoping that we wouldn't have Gortash show up here. That's why I left the hand out of my inventory. I think everybody's in. I'll kind of look at my inventory later. But because it's here, we don't have to make any checks. If you haven't killed Gortash when you get here, then one of the other hands in your inventory will be used as the person that's going to show up here. And since you didn't kill any of those people, you'll have to pass a deception check to trick him into believing that you actually killed him to go forward. We don't have to make that check because we actually were the ones that killed Gortash.
Reverence.
Zeal.
Long may he reign.
Your offering pleases Lord Bhaal. Your words delight him. You slaughter well, aspirant. You are deemed worthy. Enter the Dreadlord's abattoir and submit to his will.
Okay, so let me look and see. Yeah, I took his hand out. I guess he overrides everything because I don't have Gortash's hand. Yeah, anywhere in my inventory. So it doesn't matter if you have it in the inventory or not. If you've killed him, it's going to default to him. Which is fine. I didn't need to pass a DC 25 deception check anyway, but I wanted to illustrate it. So now, here. We've looked at this room before.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
You stand now on the cusp of the Dreadlord's favor. One killing secures your rebirth as an unholy assassin of Bhaal. The slaughter of a celestial being. Make violence of its goodness. Spill its blood. And bathe in Bhaal's eternal rapture.
Civilian, do not listen to this ancient fuck! Free me at once!
I never credited Bhaal with a sense of humor. This is some sick joke of his. Let's not be part of it.
Okay, so 2 options here. Either kill Valeria or get into a fight with Sarevok. Now again, in the Paladin playthrough, we looked at how powerful the items are that you can buy from the Echo of Abazagal if you kill Valeria. Those same items would still be very, very useful for Astarion in our current playthrough. There's absolutely no doubt. I'm actually going to get into a fight here. This is not the way I would normally do it, but I think kind of as a counterpoint to the Paladin playthrough, we'll go ahead and play it out this way. Like I say, not something that I would normally want to do because I don't want to miss out on those items. But I'll sacrifice those items in place of showing you something different here. Okay, so Sarevok in and of himself here. Now this fight is substantially more difficult when you have it here because you have all of the ghosts, which are now also involved. Now they don't have a lot of hit points. There's only 18 of them. But they do all have the aura of murder. So if they get near you, they're going to be doing double damage with their daggers. The other 3 echoes are still in here to deal with, and of course Sarevok is here. Now the Sarevok we've looked at before, so he cannot be surprised, which is not really a big deal in the way that we went through this. Everything else, he's just, really buffed up. He's got a lot of hit points, and he's got an armor class of 20. Now, what will happen is if you kill the echoes... Okay, so when Sendai's ghost dies, Sarevok will have his armor class increased by 6. That's a substantial buff for Sarevok to have. For Ilisera, when she dies, Sarevok is permanently hastened, so he's going to have 2 actions per turn, and since he has extra attack, he's going to be able to attack 4 times per turn. You can't paralyze him or reduce his movement speed in any way. And Emelesen is whenever he dies, she dies, any of Sarevok's attacks that hit heal him for 2d12 hit points. So if you can focus Sarevok down a little bit here, then that's a big benefit for you. So we've got a 26 armor class here. Sarevok's got a 20 strength, so he's got +5 on his to hit. So he is going to have to roll, plus he's level 16, so his proficiency is a +5, I think. So he's got a +10 to hit, and I'm 26, so he's going to have to roll a 16 or higher to hit me. So my choices are to attack Sarevok and start getting some damage in here, or possibly fall back a little bit and cast Darkness and try and protect myself from all these other attacks that are going to come in. Now, nobody here on the field can see in darkness. Okay? However, that is not going to keep Ilisera, who's a sorcerer, and Emelesen, who's also a sorcerer, from casting some fairly significant spells on you. So those 2 are your next focus target. It's just you don't necessarily want to kill them before you kill Sarevok. Alright? You don't want their buffs to go to him. So you want to try and kill Sarevok as quickly as you can. and then try and eliminate these two will be your next focus. The melee version here from Sendai is not necessarily a big deal. Okay, so I think what I'm actually going to try to do here...
My faith will protect me. Time to push my luck again.
So what's my paralyzing rate? Only 30% because of his legendary resistance. So I think I'm gonna fall back a little bit and cast Darkness. Hopefully that will prevent him from landing attacks. Let me go into tactical view here. Alright. And then Sarevok doesn't have any resistances, so I'll throw out... Well, I won't throw out Hex, because that'll break my concentration on Darkness. So hopefully he'll come into the Darkness, have disadvantage on his attacks, and try and go after me. Okay, so he just skipped his turn, which is even better. Because now we can start focusing, because Amalescent is probably going to cast Blight on somebody in here. That can cause up to 80 damage. But there's not a whole lot that I can do to disrupt that. What I want to do is keep Sleet Storm on tap, just in case one of them is concentrating on something. I can always cast that. But what I would like to do is see if I can move out here half of my movement. Actually, I would like to move more out here, but let's not. Let's just go over here first. Half my movement. And we'll throw a destructive wave down. Okay, that put 4 stacks of Radiating Orb there, another 4 stacks there. And let's move back into the darkness. Let's see what Elisera does. Okay, so she's casting Sanctuary on Sarevok, which is interesting. I'm not going to allow it. So Warding Bond, interesting too. He's resistant to all damage types while he's doing this. I would prefer not to have that happen. But I don't necessarily want to give up the Divine Smite here from this. What does he gain? Attacks. Okay. I can just kill her next turn. Or I can kill her this turn, for that matter. Oh, and I forgot to put Karuska's Favor up. Why did Sanctuary land? I counterspelled it. Jeez. Okay. Great. She's not dead. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, we'll see what Ilisera does now.
Well, so much for peace.
Why did that land? I counterspelled that, right? Gale cast a failed counterspell? Why? She cast it at level 1. Yeah, Gale used Counterspell. Sonic Backlash hit. She was hit, and she cast Sanctuary. I have no idea what happened there. Because now I can't damage Sarevok. Which is unfortunate. Oh, I can't damage him directly. I mean, there are ways to damage Sarevok. I could do it with Eldritch Blast. Cast past him. But... yeah, because I can't hit anybody. Let's just kill her. Let's move up a little bit.
Light on my feet.
Path is interrupted by Sarevok. What is Ilisera going to give him? Yeah, I don't want him hastened. Okay, so she cast Haste. That's level 3. Now, Gale, are you going to be able to land this? Thank you. Okay, I'll take that opportunity attack. Okay, for me, again, not being able to target Sarevok through this, I think I'm going to see how he reacts on this turn. If he's not going to do anything because he's not in the darkness, if he's just going to stand there and not do anything, then I will absolutely kill the other two, and I will use AoE spells like Call Lightning and that sort of stuff to keep damaging him until Sanctuary runs out. Okay. But for now... nope, not ranged. Oh, jeez, one hit. Just can't catch a break here with everybody ending up on 1 hit point. Okay, so let's see what Sarevok does this turn. Okay, he's just going to sit there. So let's kill the other two here as quickly as we can. And let's see how far our destructive wave is going to reach. Okay, we need to get back here to these two. So let's fly with half of our movement. This might knock Sarevok into the darkness with us. What do we have? 1 hit point. How unlucky am I getting with all of these 1 hit point? Okay, so he is in the darkness, so he may actually turn around and try and make an attack against me on this turn. And if he does, that means he's going to have all the absorbed essences. So, as much as I hate to do it, I don't want to kill them. I want to leave them alive, because if he does decide, because he's in the darkness now, to turn around and attack me, I don't want him to have the extra buffs to his armor class and everything else that go along with it. Boy, I'm just opening myself up to take more damage, though. That's the problem. And every time he hits, he's going to get closer to being able to do a special attack that I don't want him to be able to do. Hastened might not be a big deal. It's the armor class one that really makes this fight more difficult. I'd prefer not to do either one. Let's drop a... yeah, I can't. I can't do it from inside of here.
The witching hour.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything here. Because again, I don't know what he's going to do on his turn. Because if he turns and fights, then his sanctuary goes away and I can fight him. And I can hopefully try and one-turn him. And it would be a lot easier if he doesn't have haste and a buffed armor class. So I think I'm going to wait another turn and soak up any damage from them. I will cast haste on my paladin, though.
Come on, can't stay idle.
And I can attack him, but I still... We're at 19. Yeah, I don't want to do that either. I can get 1 hit. Okay, so now they're both one-shot. So Lesser Restoration. That's going to cure him from blindness. It's a level 2 spell. It wouldn't be cure to blindness, though, anyway. Because he's in the darkness cloud. Okay. So I'm gonna step up next to him here, so I can take the attack. If he does decide to make it. And I'm going to end my turn here without doing anything. So he did. So let's throw a charm here. That'll keep him from attacking. He saved against it. Okay, and he missed again. Okay, that's good. So his sanctuary disappeared. So now I can go after him. And I can go after everybody here. So let's see what I can do with Curse with the full set of his attacks here. So we're... Again, no resistances. So again, let's throw as much damage on this as we can with Inquisitor's Might for my bonus action. And start throwing damage here. Oh, come on. So I one-turn Sarevok with Curse, which is exactly what I wanted to do. And now I just have these two that are sitting at a one-shot. And that should be easy enough for me to deal with.
Very well.
Very impressed. You! Free me at once! You do not want to anger me.
Let's see if there's... I can't remember if there's a key.
Anything of use?
The chanting was nearly worse.
Looks like there is. Okay, that's going to encumber me. I'm not too worried about it.
Seems simple enough.
Okay. So that was not the key to this.
With a flick of the wrist.
Wait. Hold on.
Never wanted the easy path.
There's another key around here somewhere, I think.
Release me at once.
Thought I remembered seeing it once.
Yes, we're all very impressed. Now release me.
No, I guess there's not.
You do not want
I guess it was just that key. So what was the DC on this? I didn't look at it. 15?
At once. Very impressed. Now release me. You do not want to anger me.
Took you bloody long enough. You've no idea how wrinkles like mine get caught in chains like that. I suppose some thanks are in order. You did a good job putting a stop to those Bhaalist Burks. Though I do wish you'd figured this all out before I,
put the blame for Father Lorgan's murder on that poor refugee. Well, at least it's over now.
You might not be finished. I am. It's plain to see that I'm well out of my depth here. But you gave these reprobates a proper seeing to. You clearly have what I don't. Courage, insight, heroism. The city needs you. I overheard these pigs talking. There's a Bhaal temple deep within the old Undercity that the cult is using. A century ago, it was destroyed by a group of heroic sorts. Let's hope history repeats itself, eh? This place is foul as piss.
Okay, and again, Valeria, not somebody that I like. So from Sarevok, you picked up two things here. The first is the Sword of Chaos. So the Sword of Chaos is actually really good. On hit, you regain 1d6 hit points, and it does 1d4 necrotic damage as well. It's a +2 weapon, so it's a constant way of getting healing back. So again, for your martial classes where you have multiple attacks per turn, this is a way to kind of stand in there. And if you're hasted and you have 6 attacks plus 3 more on Action Surge, like I do for 9 attacks, you could gain 9 to 54 hit points worth of health back in that first round you do it, and then you would get 6 to 36 hit points back every round thereafter, as long as you're hasted. But even if you're not, you're still going to gain 3 to 18 hit points per round that you're using it. So it is a decent sword. It's not anything that I'm going to be focused on here, though. The next thing is Sarevok's Horned Helmet. You gain Dark Vision if you don't already have it, or your Dark Vision goes out to 15 meters instead of 12 if you already have it. However, the things about it are the number you need to roll a crit is reduced by 1. This effect can stack. So that's obviously very nice for those crit builds that you have. And then Dauntless, you can't be frightened and cannot be afflicted with other emotion-altering conditions. So it's frightened is obviously the big one, but things like calm emotions and that sort of stuff don't work on you either while you're wearing this. So it's kind of a plus and a minus here. Again, not something that we're going to be utilizing in this playthrough here. So let's remove... I want to keep that for now, actually. Don't need that. Guess I don't need Legacy of the Masters right now. Okay. And now, before we go into our next encounter, we're going to take another long rest. So before we go into Orin, we definitely want to be ready for that encounter. Valeria is bringing the City Watch with them to support us in the final battle. So we gathered another ally. So out of this episode, we brought in 3 new allies to help us out in the final fight. So now as for the rest of this place here. I'm not entirely sure why we still have a quest marker here. There's a gilded chest over here. I mean, we can go look at all these, but this might be the abattoir key.
Please.
I don't think it is, though. No, it's not.
Bet I can crack that open.
DC 20. Sporty. Oh, I didn't put my gloves back on. I was like, wait a minute, why I only have 2 items there? Oof. Oof, 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 oof. Got lucky with some rolls there. Yeah, I'm not sure why there's a quest marker covering this area. We already know how to get to... That's Sarevok's body?
Let's have a
Got
look.
knocked all the way through the wall. We already know how to get into the temple. So, not entirely sure why it's giving me a quest marker outline around this area. And in here we have a metal door that will lead you into Sarevok's private office type of thing. And there's normally arcane cultivation elixirs in here. These are going to become really important, so make sure you pick all of those up. The clothing, I don't need any of those. Don't necessarily need any of those. And then down here, the keys to all these cells are down here, and there are a couple of things that you can search in here, but nothing that's really extraordinary or anything like that you're going to get. You can't cast Speak with the Dead on Fist Orville because they're decapitated, so nothing really that you need in here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go prepare for next week's episode, where we will start off with a fight against Orin. So to do that, we're going to head down to the Temple of Bhaal. We opened this waypoint up a while ago, and we opened up all of and explored all of the Temple of Bhaal last time. Okay, so we're going to open up the entrance here. Then we're going to head over this way, and we're going to have a fight over here. Then we're going to take a long rest and end the day. So, who has the perception checks? Shadowheart.
Can't afford to stay idle.
We will increase that by giving advantage on perception checks.
Onward then.
And we'll cast guidance on her. We're actually going to do more than that. We're going to give her the Mask of the Shapeshifter, the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring. Shapeshift her. We'll refresh Here, oh, I've already cleared these out. Nice. Perfect. Love it.
No one stopped me
Okay,
yet.
so now we're just go get into a fight here, and then we'll take our long rest. So the way that we need to go is up here.
These boots have seen everything.
And head up these stairs here. Okay, and I'm going to stop everybody down here. And my bard, I'm going to head out here with.
At the ready.
Okay, and once I get up here, I'm going to go into turn-based mode. I'm going to throw an alchemist fire out here. I'll throw it here in the middle of this. Oh, I guess I could throw it here and get that one as well. Okay, so that's going to put me into combat with a bunch of rats. Now, the problem with the rats here is that they have infectious madness. So after the rat takes damage, the attacker must make an intelligence saving throw or become confused. Now, confused means that the entity is hostile to everyone. You wander around aimlessly and occasionally skip its turn. Okay, so you do not want to walk in here with Shadowheart with something like Spirit Guardians or something like that, because as soon as she fails her saving throw, she is going to drop Spirit Guardians. You want to throw out an environmental type of damage prohibitor, and that's what we've got here. That's what we've done. So now when the rats come up here and they hit this, I'm going to be continually having to make saving throws or be confused. And we'll see how many rats make it through here and then whether or not I pass my saving throw. But even if I don't, my armor class is high, so the chances of them hitting me are really low. See, I'm not having... This is what happened in my testing. I'm not having to pass the saving throws. But in my Paladin livestream, I did. It's kind of weird. Yeah, see, I didn't have to pass any saving throws there. When I did that. Which is what normally environmental damage does. I don't have to pass... It doesn't think that I'm damaging it. It thinks that this is damaging it. Now, if I throw the Alchemist Fire and hit these two, it's going to think I damaged them. And I'm going to have to pass a saving throw for that. But I want to stack up another one of these. Because if they pass their saving throw, that lets them only take half damage. And they may survive walking through the first one, but they won't survive walking through the second one. Yeah, and see, I'm not having to pass saving throws. Okay, so there I did have to pass one. So somewhere in there it made me pass one. Okay, it's kind of weird. Not entirely sure what's happening on all of them. Well, see, it says Cranium Rat succeeded on a saving throw, but those modifiers are mine. Sweet Stone features, the Intelligence modifier, not sure why I have advantage, and Anointed in Splendor. I'm not sure why I have advantage on the Wisdom saving throw. Oh, it's because of Thoroughly Stuffed. So we'll just end our turn and wait for the next one. Okay.
Breathe quiet. Move with care.
So the Cranium Rats you can search, but none of them are going to have anything on them.
How much farther can I go?
There is a chest here. Potion of Supreme Healing, very, very nice. Especially since we used a couple of those.
I'm exhausted. Better find somewhere to camp soon.
Another chest down here. Muddy red dye, don't really care about. And down here we want to unlock the waypoint. Okay. This skiff here, you can see it's marked in orange. This is a quest marker. This is your point of no return.
Better not be cursed.
You are not ready. You need all the stones before we can proceed.
Okay, so the Emperor warns you that you need all the stones. But if you have all the stones and you click on it, a warning box is going to pop up that lets you know after you enter into this area, you cannot go back to camp. You cannot access any items from your camp. You cannot change any of your party members. So this skiff is you are locked into the end game at that point, and you're not able to make any changes to your party composition or item loadout from that point on. If you're not carrying it with you, you're not going to have access to it. Okay, so now we're going to, now that we're in an area again that is not red bordered, we're going to take a long rest. And we're going to get ready for Orin. Now I'm anxious to talk to Minsk and Jahira about Sarevok.
Always a pleasure.
A little rest to brush the road from Boo's fur, and then back to our adventuring.
Okay, so nothing there.
A little rest to brush the road from Boo's...
Little surprising there's not anything. Jahira and Minsk were playable characters. They were party members in Baldur's Gate 2 in your fight against Sarevok.
What is it, Cub? Nothing so grand. He was just another broken little Bhaal spawn who tried to clamber to glory over the corpses of others. There was a time when he might have made more of himself. He was certainly given the chance after we threw him down, but he slunk back into his father's shadow instead. There is nothing more to say of him.
Okay, looks like there's a missed opportunity there for some discussions.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey.
Okay, so nobody's going to have anything to say about Sarevok, so let's take our long rest. Okay, so now, whoops, we need to do our party buffs here. And just so you'll know here, I guess I can talk about this now. You're not limited on how many of your camp followers or your hirelings that you have out here. So what it's very common to do is to bring out multiple ones that all do different things. We use Zenith every time to cast Hero's Feast on us. That gets us a great buff for everybody that's going to be in the party. You can also bring out another caster to cast Wording Bond on your characters, or a single character if you want. They're kept back here in camp and safe, so to speak, from that extra damage that's happening. You can also keep another caster back here to cast Aid and things like that to give you additional hit points. So you can do a lot of things that do not require concentration that last until long rest using what we call camp casters. The hirelings you just keep active back here to bring those buffs before you go into a fight. I normally don't worry about it on balance mode, but in honor mode it's certainly a tactic to take advantage of, and we're going to see more of that once we start getting toward the middle parts of Act 2, where we're dealing with bosses and things like that. We'll bring out more of those camp casters to deal with it. For now, we only need to use Zenith.
This vessel is at thy disposal.
But the vessel only stares blank.
This soul awaits the...
No time to dally. This way.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Okay. Send all those back to camp, and now we'll bring Gale back into the party.
Maybe it will bring us closer.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'd be delighted, though magical.
Okay, and now to the Temple of Bhaal. We're gonna buff up here outside. And
what's next?
okay, and then those 2 items for her.
No time to rest.
For Gale, let's go through his cycle. And it brings me to a point. I can actually replace that and send the Blazer of Benevolence back to camp. I don't need to carry it anymore. Oh. Aha. Interesting. Okay. So, that was wrong. So I need to transfer something to him temporarily. He's proficient with it. So that does not... It's weird, though. It shouldn't do that. Because I have mage armor on right now, but I'm wearing the Helldusk armor. That shouldn't be allowed. Mage armor should get canceled out as soon as I put the Helldusk armor on. If I swap that to something I'm not proficient with, now it comes back. So that's incorrect coding. because as soon as you apply any armor type, mage armor should go away. It seems to do it only with stuff that you're not proficient with, which, like I say, is a mistake.
All's well that
And
ends.
then don't forget with
Not as bad
Gale
as it
to
could
bring
have.
in Kareska's favor.
At least things have stayed interesting.
And I'm gonna hold off on casting that for now. Yes, I will. Okay,
Have to keep going.
so let's head in here. You can see you're red bordered, so you're not gonna be able to fast travel out of here.
Here we go.
Stone seals this chamber against the world. The Bhaal amulet trembles in frightened awe. Will you return once you cross this threshold?
Okay, and here we are into the main chamber here. Now, Lae'zel is sitting here. Orin is waiting for us. We're not going to interact with her yet.
Why must the dead three be so obvious and ugly? Blood and bones, bones and blood, pointing nonsense. At least Shah had some
And again, you can see there's Lae'zel, Orin, a couple of her lackeys, and then some Reapers, and we will talk about the mechanics of that fight a little bit later. For now, we're going to head through this opening.
Architectural feature.
Once we get here, we'll break the group and we'll take Shadowheart down here. Now, you can freely fly into this room. Nobody's hostile to you right now.
No time to waste.
And we can cast Speak with the Dead on Orin's mother.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Orin, my daughter. I tried to kill her, but she killed me first. I wanted to be Bhaal's chosen. Sarevok told me she must be my offering. I was close, my hand around her throat. I failed. No, she worshipped him, loved him. So did I. Baldur's Gate, Brandon District. Helena Anchev, daughter of Sarevok, mother of Orin.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Okay, so you learned a little bit more. Sarevok had told us that Orin's mother tried to kill Orin, but he didn't tell us that he was the one that ordered Helena to do it. And he also didn't tell us that there's a fairly incestuous family relationship here. Helena is Sarevok's daughter, but Orin is Helena's daughter, but Orin's father is also Sarevok. Also her grandfather, because basically he molested his daughter to give birth to Orin. So there's a whole lot that Sarevok left out of the conversation back there, which you can now confront Orin with after you've had a conversation to speak with her here. It doesn't change the outcome of what happens. It's just a different way of getting there. Because either way, she's going to transform into the Slayer and is going to
Light on my feet.
attack us. There's no way around that. So as far as what Andy's question was, and what we're going to do, I'll answer that question here in just a second. We're going to go up here. We're going to put our group in hiding. We're going to split it. And I'm going to go out here because I have alert. So I'm going to hope I roll well on this.
You are well studied in Lady Volan's
And we will get ready for next week.
One cannot be a true
So, if the only people that Orin kidnaps in order, and I believe this is still correct, Lae'zel first, then Halsin, and then Gale, Minthara, and then I believe, and then I know actually, Yenna, that girl in our camp. The only reason she's there is to be kidnapped if none of the others are eligible to be kidnapped. Now, when the kidnapping happens, is when you have the first encounter with her after you arrive in the lower city and you see her for the first time. She will kidnap the character in the background. The only way to avoid any of those characters being kidnapped is if they are currently in your party while you are in the lower city. Now, since there are 4 of them, Lae'zel, Halsin, Gale, and Minthara, there's no way to avoid one of those 4 getting kidnapped because you can only have 3 of them in your party at one time. Unless you didn't recruit Minthara or you didn't recruit Halsin, one of those 4 is going to be kidnapped. So Yenna is there as a fallback just in case you didn't recruit one of those. She's going to be the one that gets kidnapped. So Lae'zel's always the first one. Approval, romance rating, none of that sort of stuff have anything to do with who gets kidnapped. There's a specific order. But if they are in your party when you first meet Orin in the lower city, they are not going to be kidnapped. Okay. So this brings us to a good point to make our stop here. We're going to save, and we are immediately going to jump into this fight. I will explain the mechanics of it and how it all works at the beginning of next week's episode. And you thought Orin had cut her hand off? Whose hand? Oh, you mean Lae'zel's or something like that? There's a conversation that deals with your party member down here that we're going to have to deal with here. And actually, that's a good point for me. I need to do something because I will absolutely forget this before I end the stream. So I need to have shapeshifter spoon. And I need to have Shadowheart cast guidance on me.
Chin up.
Shadowheart will then go back into hiding.
Have to keep low.
I will walk around here while guidance is still active, and I will save it here. Otherwise, I'll absolutely forget it, because I'm going to have to make a check here. And it's a fairly sporty check at the beginning of next week's episode. Okay, so as always, thank you all for being here. I really enjoy all the interactions that I have with all of you, and your support is always welcome, because as always, without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well.